After retrieving the canisters from Dagngara's retreat, it was time to head back to Jedah to give them to Master Cordova. The conversation begins without music, focusing our attention on the important dialogue. But as one of the anchorites approaches, the plot thickens and the music begins, first with just a drone before woodwinds enter as well. It holds attention as we learn that there is a safe house and secret information under siege by an Imperial mining operation.
Master Jedah, the Empire is nearing Pilgrim Sanctuary.
Is it a strike force?
No, an excavation team.
Good. They don't know about the safe house.
Yet.
Safe house?
Hidden in the ruins. Have we begun evacuations?
They're already underway, but Brother Armias isn't responding.
Armias has the communication codes.
If they capture him, they could put the entire hidden path at risk.
I know the ruins.
As Seer makes a joke about heroics, the music lightens up though to ease that tension.
Bring back Armias.
You got it.
And no heroics.
With this one? No promises.
I think she was talking to you.
But now we have the chance to explore larger sections of the Jedah Desert. As expected, for this desert planet, the music stays fairly lifeless, but it also employs numerous occurrences of the English horn, and a recurring motif of up and then back down by half step continues to come back. Overall, this track did nothing special, but it remained as a wonderful backing to the desert surrounding. And as I ran into the Golden Skriton, the music picked up, but I noticed that once again, it was based around this general theme of danger. And I'll admit that the stormtroopers are nearby in the desert, but I continue to be disappointed that this fantastic theme seems to hold no direct owner and has just been carelessly used for anything that attacks Cal in this game. I really think that Haab and Barton missed an opportunity to adapt their own theme for the Empire for this game. But what are all of your thoughts on this? As we get a little closer to the temple, a theme carried in unison by flute and violins enters. But then the music that we heard while Merrin and Cal rode to the hideout with Seer before returns and leads me to just want to take time and admire the scenery. But as a few TIE fighters roar by, an ominous low bassoon enters briefly, warning of danger.
They're headed towards Pilgrim Sanctuary.
The safe house is in there?
Yes. The temple is abandoned and well fortified.
String swells enter as we near the temple. Synth bells join as well, giving this track and area a very mystical and magical sense of wonder. The strings and brass swell next into a major crescendo before falling back with short entrances in a way that Haab and Barton used fairly often in this game to alleviate powerful moments without becoming too dramatic. As we climb higher, we reach a point where the wind becomes a barrier, as it's too powerful for us. We find these large metal beams to pull out of the cavern wall to stop the wind, but as we pull them out, The wind also forces the beams to vibrate and create a powerful siren drone as well. I assume that the intention was that by having these different sized openings, each one would vibrate at a pitch that, when combined with the others, created pleasant consonances. This was a really cool concept and made an interesting connection to the practices of Buddhist monks who will also use drones and long-held pitches as a form of healing and meditation. I'm curious if that was actually the inspiration here as well. The music continues even with these new drones, creating yet another opportunity for a very magical experience in this game. And as we continue, we discover more of these musical beams as well. And instead of scoring something that perfectly fits with these drones, Haab and Barton specifically score against it, creating that sense of chaos that would be felt in this moment between the wind ripping, the blazing sun, and the loud horns from these wind beams. Eventually, we leave the windy cavern of music. Lighter music returns then. A soft version of the Danger or Imperial theme is hidden here as well.
All clear.
As we continue through this burnt-out outpost, Harp enters with further light music. I was surprised at the juxtaposition throughout here of soft and peaceful music while we killed Skritons and washed areas burned to the ground. And if you listen closely to the music, it seems now that the soundtrack has adopted those drones from the musical Wind Cavern. We find more up ahead as well, so it's possible that we're just hearing them all around us, but in either case, I'm impressed by how built into the soundscape of the entire map that they are. It really displays the care and attention to the overall continuity and integrity of the game. As we meet Pilly, Cal's theme enters to signify his new colleague.
Do what I can, but very little grows here, as you can see.
You should check out the Kobo system. Everything grows there.
Sounds lovely. Perhaps I will.
Just tell the bartender of Pilgrim Saloon I sent you. He'll get you set up.
Beyond this, a new track enters. The strings carry the trumpet first before falling and swelling a few more times like breaths. Then the harp picks up, and if we listen carefully, the choir has returned as we near the top of this holy mountain and temple. The solo trumpet carries on as well, establishing a strong, noble sense to this beautiful score. It then gives way to the oboe, which quickly hands its solo off to the solo flute.
Someone spotted her in the vicinity. No matter. Ghost or not, I'd like to see something from toe-to-toe with the new assault craft. What's the ETA on its arrival? Any minute now.
strings swell in chords while a solo alto flute dances over top and intertwined with the strings with a very energetic line. It gave a more tribal or primitive feeling as we neared the ancient temple while the choir remained underneath. The brass enter next as the strings carry this short motif of tonic, 2, 3, then leaping down to 5. This theme comes back several other times throughout this climb as well. The music then seems to suddenly fall away then, almost as if it had never been there to begin with. But then the music switches to the music we heard while in the temple with Cere, before dissipating, and sometimes you just need to let Cal hang around while you listen to the music. As we enter the caverns, drones take over much of the soundtrack, continuing the music from outside from the musical wind beams, and also that sense of mysticism and spiritual wonder. But then we see that there are even more of the beams inside, and that the entire place is essentially a massive musical instrument. I couldn't help but feel a little lost in wonder as I moved out, in, and throughout these structures. The sound was both overwhelming and calming at the same time. But eventually I made my way to the center of the area, and as I do, a massive storm seems to take over as the drones die away to the chaos. As we try to jump through the storm to escape, we're blown aside and thrown into a vision from our past. The music settles then as Cal and Cere speak. It remains soft, but as Cere warns Cal that he's been reckless, it builds and grows in dissonance.
The Imperial labor camp on Mazar.
The garrison's half empty. We can strike before reinforcements arrive.
Sounds promising, but Marin and Grease haven't made it back to the ship yet.
As soon as they do, I'll scout ahead and they can rest on the Mantis.
You know they'll never allow themselves to rest if you're in danger. You never give up. And that's what inspires all of us. But you have to remember that where you lead, they will follow.
I know I've been pushing recently, but ever since Grease
What
got
happened
hurt...
to Grease is not your fault. But ever since then, you've been reckless.
I keep worrying about something bad happening to one of you.
However, as Cal acknowledges this and Cere speaks to him more, the music settles once more into Master Cordova's theme and then Cal's theme.
But don't let it determine your path. Focus on the moment. Choose your direction and act with certainty. And trust that, whatever the odds, you'll pull through. Cal, trust yourself.
Trust in the Force.
Exactly.
We continue from there with our new skill of dashing in mid-air. But I absolutely would love to know what all of you think. I'm breaking the game down as I play it, similar to how I would watch a weekly TV show, so there are elements that may make more sense to me as I release later videos for further missions. What did you think of the music as we climbed the mountain toward Pilgrim's Retreat? Did you enjoy the sound beams resonating in the wind? And did it feel meditative, overwhelming, or both to you? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.